That's the actual title of the DVD review that was sent off to the Doctor Appreciation Society. But I don't know yet whether they're going to publish it for me. But just in case they don't publish it for me, I'm going to do my own DVD review on my own on here. So Doctor Who, starring Tom Baker. He was the longest running Doctor Who actor that has ever been. He played the part of the Doctor from 1974 to 1981. And is what's he regenerated into Peter Davison in 1981. This is City of Death, but by David Agnew. Whilst on holiday in Paris, the Doctor and Romana discover that something is amiss with time. Who is conducting the secret time experiments and what connects them to the Mona Lisa? The answers lead them to discover a secret that has been hidden for 400 million years. Well, we know who Tom Baker is, but we don't know who David Agnew is. Well, actually, David Agnew was a spoogening for three different men. Although I'll get onto that in a minute. It has special features. Commentary by Michael Hayes, director Julian Glover Scaroth, and Tom Chadbon Duggan. Paris in the Springtime, a 45-minute look at the making of this story, and in particular the contribution of writer and script editor Douglas Adams. Paris W12, a rare look inside the TV studio during the recording of City of Death via extracts from recently rediscovered black and white studio tapes with optional information subtitles. The Doctor Who Annual 1980, this children's annual published in 1979, is presented in its entirety DVD-ROM only, PC, Mac. Prehistoric, I've got a PC so I can look at, I've got a laptop so I can look at that. Prehistoric landscapes, a montage of unused model effect shots. Chicken Wrangler, a montage of unused shots involving live chickens. Ion Blatchford, an all-new comedy sketch telling the story of Sardoff, the second to last of the Jagaroff. Photo gallery. Produced by Graham Williams, directed by Michael Hayes. Incidental music composed by Dudley Simpson. Now, what's that word that I use then, beginning with a J? Jagaroth. It's you might be with a name like Jagaroff, you might assume that he's got big lips, but he hasn't got big lips. He's got a big eye in the middle of his head and green skin. And the Jagaroff are an infinitely old race, and according to the last of them, they're an infinitely superior race. Sounds like a bit of a big head, doesn't he? And what's happened is that they've been on Earth 400 million years ago, and they've misguidedly taken off on warp drive, and the spaceship has exploded, and he's been scattered throughout the time vortex and splintered throughout 12 periods in Earth's history. And what he's been doing is pushing technology forward, so that the one that exists, the incarnation of him that exists in the 20th century, can receive time travel and travel back to the travel back to communicate with his self in the present at the time and stop himself from pushing the button. And so that his spaceship doesn't explode, and he was the only survivor of the explosion, you see. But if he manages to go back in time, all those millions of years, and prevent this accident from happening, his race can live again. But he's got to sacrifice our race and every little other living thing on Earth, because the radiation from this explosion of this spaceship hastened the process of evolution on Earth, and that was what led to the Earth being teeming with life as it is today. And if he prevents this explosion, his race will be resurrected from the dead. But every other living thing on Earth will be sacrificed to that end. And the story is how the Doctor gets involved. The Doctor and his companion in this TARDIS, Romana, and it's a story of how the Doctor gets involved with what this Scaroth is in the 20th century is known as Count Scarleone, and he's doing these experiments with time travel. And to fund this experiment, to finance this experimentation, his self that exists in the incarnation of himself that exists in the 16th century, called Captain Tancredi. He's employing Leonardo da Vinci to paint more copies of the Mona Lisa, to finance his experiments, these experiments. But the story of it is basically how the Doctor gets involved, and with this situation, how the Doctor's got to thwart his plans, because he's really got to stop in his tracks, this Scaroff. I mean, he's fanatical about what he's doing. It's like I say, he wants his people, his whole race, apart from himself, were all destroyed by this explosion of his spaceship. But he's got to sacrifice every living thing on Earth that exists on Earth today, for the sake of bringing the Dragonov back again. And the Doctor is played by Tom Baker in this. He says that they were a vicious, callous, warlike race. The universe won't miss them. Anyway, that woman, that's the person second from a left in those three there. The woman standing next to the Doctor, that's a female Time Lord called Romana. Romana had two. Romana regenerated while she was with the Doctor. In her first incarnation with him, she was played by Mary Tam, but in this she was played by Lala Ward, and the actress Lala Ward actually married Tom Baker, but the marriage didn't last very long. You can find more information about it on Wikipedia and maybe other places online. They weren't together very long. I think he's married to someone called Sue now. It's PG, contains very mild, scary scenes. And I'm doing a review of it, a review of it on my YouTube channel, just in case they don't just in case they don't do appreciation side, they don't publish the one that I've sent to them. But it's a horrible looking thing, isn't it? Or that's Scaroth, the last of a Jaggeroth. That's what he really looked. That's his real appearance, but he's disguising himself as a human. He's managing very successfully to disguise himself as a human, and throughout, and there is a certain point in history where he hasn't disguised himself, where he's I think he's sort of posed as a god with one eye, and the doctors described his true appearance to his wife, said he's actually been telling her the truth, that he isn't really human, that he's in reality got one eye and green skin, and she just stands there laughing at him as though he's bonkers. But then she suddenly recalls seeing a picture on a scroll somewhere in their mansion of this creature with green skin and with one eye and green skin, and she goes to this bookcase and finds it. It's where he doesn't disguise himself when he was in ancient Egypt, and she finds this picture. And she realises then that what the doctor was saying was true. And she points a gun at him, saying, "Who are you? What are you? What do you want? What have I been living with all these years? What do you want?" And he says, "If I may answer those questions in reverse, what I want is a drink." And then he suddenly takes his disguise off, and he says that he's Scaroth, the last of a Jaggeroth, an infinitely old race, an infinitely superior one. And she's got this bracelet on, unbeknown to her. It's actually alien technology, and he uses it to kill her telepathically. But I'm probably doing too many spoilers. I don't think there's any need for me to go through any more detail about the story, because you can actually see it on Daily Mode. Find all the parts of all the 4 parts of it that were on Daily Motion. It's on there, but if you want all these extras, you best. I sent off for this from HMV, but pay for it with my PayPal account. But I haven't answered the question yet, I don't think, of who David Agnew is. Right. David Agnew, the writer of City of Death, does not exist. The name was a popular nom de plume used by the BBC in the 1970s when they couldn't actually credit the writers on a particular TV programme for various contractual reasons. David Agnew first cropped up on Doctor Who when producer Graham Williams locked himself and script editor Anthony Reid away until they had written the scripts for the Invasion of Time. Reid's replacement as script editor on Doctor Who was Douglas Adams, still fresh from writing his universally lauded radio Sky Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. When problems arose on the script for the story A Gamble with Time in 1979. Williams again found himself locking up his script editor until a workable story was scripted. The old adage about creativity thriving under pressure was proven once again. Adams' first love was comedy. A City of Death sees Doctor Who at its comedic high point. The script just oozes wit and intelligence, but is also competently good science fiction. Adams was never one just to abandon a good idea. In his 1987 book, The Gently Holistic Detective Agency, reuses some plot points from both his story and his ultimately unmade 6-part serial, Sharda. Thanks to thrifty budgeting by production unit manager John Nathan Turner, it was worked out that Doctor Who could afford its first ever overseas filming. The sequences shot in Paris give an epic feel to this story, and all the boxes are ticked: Eiffel Tower, Louvre, Seine, Champs, Élysées, check. It seems churlish to point out that this story got some of the highest ratings ever for Doctor Who at a time when ITV were on strike, and the only alternative was BBC Two or a blank screen. But Part 4 holds a record for the series at 16.1 million viewers, and it's hard not to attribute at least some of its success to the quality of this classy Tom Baker story. So, but really, they were cheating to get 16.1 million because there was nothing on ITV because of strikes. Right. That's Lala Ward there. As you can see, she's extremely good looking, I think. But then again, that's not everything, is it? And she wasn't married to Tom. She got married to Tom Baker, but it didn't last very long. But that's this DVD review, not an account of the personal lives of actors. So it wasn't really written by three men. It was written. It was really written by David Fisher, Graham Williams, and Douglas Adams. I think those are the three guys who wrote the script. You'd have to look it up on Wikipedia to get the full fact, to get the real facts. Anyway, what's it say here? Main aspect ratio 4:3. Don't know what the aspect ratio is. Main soundtrack English mono, disc format DVD 9+5, feature length 99 minutes approximately. Region 2+4, colour PAL UK. Subtitles English for the hard of hearing. PG. Overall category raised to PG due to additional material being classified at a higher certificate than the main feature U. Yeah, I used to have this on VHS video, and it was a U then, and I thought that as soon as I saw the PG, I thought they'd become the British Board of Film Censors is becoming more stringent now. But they're not. It's the additional material that's put up to a PG. Yeah, I used to have this on VHS video years and years ago. I got a whole pile of VHS videos and took them down to Millennium Comics in Northwich. I got £2 each for them, which added up to £30 altogether. This is a 2-disc set. So I think this is a must for any Doctor Who fan, and he saves the day for us all because he goes back in time 400 million years in his TARDIS. These three people here, the Doctor, Romana, and Inspector Duggan, they travel back 400 million years in the Doctor's TARDIS and to prevent this, so that Scarroff can't alter the course of history, and Scarroff hits this. Inspector Duggan hits this Scarroff and knocks him to the ground, and the Doctor says, "I think that was possibly the most important punch in history." So the Doctor has saved the day for us all.